look, Patriots. No Tom Brady, but yes, Julian Edelman. Their Super Bowl MVP wide receiver returns this season with a bit of a vengeance, looking to show the league that this Patriots team can still be competitive, Wilds. One anonymous Patriot thinks Edelman is even more motivated this season because of this. He said, quote, Julian is Julian. He hates excuses. He hates to lose. He's already got the red expletive about this season. People thinking we're no good and that he's just a product of Brady. Coach, the two spent 11 years together. You think Edelman is just a product of Tom Brady?
I don't think he's solely a product of Tom Brady, but I don't know if he's seen any of the prequels starring Wes Welker or Deion Branch or Troy Brown. They all kind of look the same, and they all have the same protagonist. And look, I'm a big Office fan, and I liked it the most when Michael Scott was there, and I didn't like it after he left. I think that things look different when Tom Brady leaves. The chemistry that these guys have had, the understanding of how the coverages work and where each other's going to be, that's not going to exist anymore. And the unselfishness that Tom approached throwing the football and his willingness to take these short passes, it's not the approach that every quarterback has. Now, whether or not they can get Brian Hoyer to do that or Jarrett the Javelin to do that, it remains to be seen. But the success, that the type that has worked in New England is very similar to what we've seen with Edelman. And look, maybe it'll be different. It's just hard to think it will.
So historically, I assume it's going to be the same, Coach. And I don't think when we talk about Edelman's legacy as a player, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that he's a product of a good environment, right? So like Bill Gates had a computer lab in like the late 60s and he became Bill Gates. That's the same with Edelman. At a certain point, you accumulate enough accolades that people separate you from like the advantageous situation that he was in. When we look at playoff receiving yards, he's third all time. Do I think that makes him a Hall of Famer? Yeah, I do. It's Jerry Rice, Julian Edelman, and Michael Irvin. Pretty good. And I know, Nick, you're going to be like, well, he's just compiling. He's compiling. He's compiling. But there's enough handful of like wonderful catches like this one in the Super Bowl that he wins the MVP. We win that game. He becomes like a legendary performance that I think, yeah, he's great. So should he have a little bit of, extra motivation this year to prove to everybody that he's not just a product of Brady? Probably. But to me, he stands on his own.
Okay. That is such utter hogwash. I mean, I'm excited. You know who watched that segment and started preparing his Hall of Fame speech? David Tyree. He has an even more impressive Super Bowl catch and an even more iconic moment. If that's what gets you in, okay, listen. You know what I wish I would have had, and shame on me for not having it ready? All-time NBA playoff scorers and minutes leaders, because you know what you'll see? Damn, Derek Fisher must have been amazing. Or he was just on some fantastic teams and played forever. Look, guys, we know what Julian Edelman is. He is obviously a product of Brady, and more power to him. He hitched his wagon to the brightest star the NFL has ever seen. They had a great relationship. Julian managed to keep himself out of trouble until Brady left, and then he instantly started getting in Twitter battles and got arrested and stuff. But listen, he's been great alongside Brady, and he has had some great playoff moments. But the numbers are undeniable. There's 3 players in NFL history with at least 500 catches who have fewer or a lower yards per catch than Edelman. One is Jason Witten,
That's not
a plotting tight end. The other is Frank Wycheck, a plotting tight end. And the other is Danny Amendola, who was Julian Edelman alongside Julian Edelman. Like, Wilds, you say it's not, and I want to kick it back to you for a moment, Wilds. You say it's not the scheme. Doesn't every scheme want guys to run past defenders to, like, get yards after the catch? Wouldn't that be the scheme if he had the ability to do it?
I don't know. I think the scheme's to win games, and he seems like he's got 3 Super Bowl rings, Nick. So to me, the scheme's to win games. I know in your world, like, rings don't really count. LeBron can lose, and Patrick Mahomes can win 1, and he's all of a sudden the best. But in the New England world, rings count, and he's got 3 rings, so it's good with me. Coach,
Jenna, this highlight package.
Hold on. Wait. Go ahead, Nick.
I apologize, Jenna. This highlight package, I just wanted it to keep running because there's one play on here where he gets legitimate yards after the catch, and there's an awful illegal crackback block to open him up. Like, the only way he's streaking down the field is if one of his teammates cheats for him, Jenna. I mean, we know what he is.
Oh, no.
All right, look, we can argue till the cows come home whether Edelman is a product of Brady or a product of Belichick. But Coach, let's just take a little bit of a step back here, a broader look. What does post-Tom Brady